Hello, Nightmare Nemo here, and we're going to do a special review that's timely because the Goosebumps movie was released on DVD, Blu-ray. I'm sure you can rent it on like Netflix and Redbox probably. So this is this is a Blu-ray DVD combo that I got at my work, and it was one of the last ones there, and it quickly sold out of the regular DVDs and stuff. So it's pretty cool. I just wanted to do a quick review on the DVD and the extras as far as that goes. If you want a full comprehensive review of the actual movie and like if you don't mind being spoiled, I have a separate review I did a couple of months ago, and you can check that out. And it's just my thoughts on it. This marks the third time I've seen it, and it's still a lot of fun to watch. Definitely, it's lighthearted, uh, nothing super serious, and something you can watch with your kids, and not too scary. So, I mean, if you like Goosebumps, you're probably gonna like this, unless you were expecting something like actually scary and horrifying, then you're gonna be a bit disappointed. Anyways, on to the extras. So, I know probably in the single DVD release, the extras are going to come in a second disc, but on the Blu-ray it's all on the same disc. And so I wanted to discuss the alternate opening that they have in this, which mirrors the Goosebumps game from way forward. I've done a whole playthrough of the whole entire game, but it starts out as these two delivery guys who are moving stuff from Arlstein. It so closely mirrors that, and it's such a great opening because it establishes like this creepy tone to it, and there's some good comedic elements in there as well, some good jokes, and it definitely it feels more like Goosebumps, and it feels more appropriate as an opening than the one that we got in the theatrical release, where it's just shots of the car driving along the road, and it's kind of bland and boring. And this one, you actually feel like this is the beginning of a Goosebumps story. So I think definitely prefer that over the original ending. The only problem is later in the beginning of the movie, they explained that R.L. Stine, or Mr. Shivers, had moved in like a couple of years ago. So that would make the opening a couple of years ago, and so the continuity just kind of, if they had edited that part out and reshot it so that they wouldn't say that, I think the alternate opening would have fit much more easily and fluidly into the story. And also, it explains one of my nitpicks. It shows the Night of the Living Dummy manuscript falling, and the lock being broken. And so later in the movie, it shows that the Night of the Living Dummy manuscript opens itself, because it's like, who unlocked the manuscript? And then this shows that the lock was already broken, and so it opens naturally. So it applies explanation to that, and I thought that was a nice touch. So another win in the win column for the alternate opening. Fortunately, I don't have anything nice or positive to say about the alternate ending, which is really dumb and makes no sense. Does this whole talk with Zach and Arlstein and saying like, I really miss Hannah, I wish she was here, and there's like, she's here and there and here, but also over here, but in this time it's not actually Hannah. It's this new girl who's like, she's lost, and like, can you show me where this class is? And I think I forget what her name was, but it reminds me of Hannah's like something along those lines. Something rhymes with Hannah. But Zach is thinking like, you wrote this character and created this character, and you're just kind of like messing with me, right? And so he thinks the whole thing is just this elaborate joke, and so he's kind of messing with her like that, but it's not a joke, and so he's just sounds like he's being a dick to her, and but he shows her where the class goes and it kind of ends there, and then Stein is walking, and then the lights start coming off. And then he looks at the display case where the Smith Corona, his typewriter is. And instead of the invisible boy being there, shows a reflection of Slappy there. From multiple points, like, it makes no sense for Slappy to be there. Even less sense the invisible boy, but also the thing with the new girl not being Hannah is just, it's not a very happy ending. Where like the original ending is much better in that point, and it's very heartwarming to have like Hannah back and in his life, and that's much better. It's interesting to see how they went with that, and thankfully they went with the ending they did and the theatrical release. So it's just kind of interesting if you're curious. And as far as the deleted scenes are, a lot of them are just, it's going to disappoint some people because they were hoping for more scenes with some of the other monsters that didn't really have screen time, right? Like the Haunted Mask and stuff like that. Unfortunately, a majority of the deleted scenes are set before the night. So it's all just establishing stuff with Zach and his friends and that kind of thing. Very little to do with the actual monsters during that night. And so it's interesting. A lot of people said complimentary of the movie, where there's always that cliche of a kid being bullied and stuff by like a jock or whatever. And the Goosebumps movie didn't have that. But in the deleted scenes, it shows that there was arc where I'm guessing it's the quarterback. You see him as the boyfriend of that one pretty girl that Champ is really into, and he saves her when her boyfriend ditches her during the werewolf attack in the school. And he like jumps on top of the werewolf and bites, that kind of stuff. And so it's that guy, and apparently there's this whole entire arc where he starts bullying Zach because they show that the pretty girl, his girlfriend, goes over and helps Zach out to find his homeroom class and is friendly to him. So apparently he's like the super jealous type, and him and his friend start bullying him, and it's done in a very cliche way, but Zach definitely defends himself. And there's other stuff where there's an actual extended scene where that one creepy teacher that's always like creeping on Zach's mom, there's an extended scene where he goes into the bathroom and starts talking to Zach, saying like, it's a very awkward, this is one of those scenes where they try to play as awkwardly as possible, like this guy is trying to get in on Zach's mom, and it's supposed to be like, the more awkward it is, the more funny it is, and it's just it doesn't work, and it's not really funny. It's just really like creepy and icky, and like, ugh. So I'm glad they cut that out. Honestly, a lot of the deleted scenes are fun, but a lot of it, they cut for obvious reasons, as it was going to mess with the pacing. There's honestly really nothing there that I think should have been in the movie. So it's a little disappointing, but like if you're like really a big fan of the movie, it's interesting to see what could have been, and you're just thankful that this stuff got cut out. There's a couple of other bonus features that are pretty cool. I mean, you got the blooper reel that's I mean, I've never been big on blooper reels, so that's up to you if you're really into that. There's Creaturefied, where the makeup artists and the costume designers for the movie, because there's a lot of practical effects with the monsters, and so they do like this little science kind of thing where it's like Bill Nye the Science Guy, where they show you how to make creature effects, like making fake blood and putting makeup on yourself to make yourself look like a monster and stuff. I didn't really go into that because it didn't seem like something I'd be into, but you know, maybe that's something you'd be interested in. There's also Beginner's Guide to Surviving a Goosebumps Creature, where Zach and Champ they're in character and they're just going over a handful of the monsters in the movie, like the big ones, like the Werewolf Fever Swamp, the Praying Mantis, and how to defeat them. Or it's like in the Praying Mantis, like, if you see this thing, just like run away and hide, because there's no way, we don't know how to defeat it. And it's very, you could tell the actors were having a lot of fun with the material, and they actually were enjoying doing this bonus feature, because you can tell they're having fun with it, which is always good, as you know, sometimes it's not the case. And then there's a thing with Slappy, is like all about Slappy, where it's just a quick kind of feature where it has Slappy in this chair, and he's just talking about himself, and there's a lot of really bad jokes, like as far as like Slappy kind of jokes. There's filled with wordplay and puns, and just kind of showing scenes of himself in the movie and what the cast thinks of him, and it actually has the real R. Stein talking about him, and more about what he feels about the character's creation, and why he enjoys writing Slappy so much. So that's definitely cool to see. And then there's this other kind of a comedy, like a very quick feature, is called String Things Are Happening on Set, which is kind of a clever way of showing the makeup department and a couple other departments in the production of the movie. Just a really quick thing, and it's all done with Zach, and there's a little bit of Hannah in there too. And it's just short and sweet. And that's kind of it as far as the extras. If you're a big fan of Goosebumps like I am, you definitely owe yourself to have this in your collection. It's a really fun movie. For me, like, I find it hard to rewatch movies unless I really enjoy them, and this movie definitely falls in that category, where I'm always looking for stuff I missed. And in my third viewing, I actually found the girl in the haunted mask, and I thought that was kind of cool. It's definitely a movie I would probably like watch like maybe once a year or so, like around Halloween or so. If you haven't seen it, definitely rent it, you know, like Redbox, Netflix, or whatever. This is definitely worth checking. And once again, if you want a full review on the actual movie, check out my Goosebumps movie review that I did a couple of months ago. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. I'm working on some more Goosebumps content, and I'll see you guys next time.